Hey world, being want to come back with another video. But I'm going to come back with this quick video. It's an informative video because remember, a lot of times if you watching the television, you're hearing a lot of deception, a lot of lies. But what you kind of comprehend is that they're saying things like inflation is going to go up, interest rates going to go up. If the debt ceiling isn't, if an agreement isn't reached between the Republicans and the Democrats, i.e., the president and Congress, about how to resolve this debt ceiling issue, then the United States will default on its credit, and it's going to cause millions of people to suffer financially and economically. But you got to ask yourself, why? Why are they not telling the real truth? Because it's lies. I mean, real eyes recognize real lies. You dig? And they'll tell you, remember the fear factor, we owe $31 trillion in debt, all right, to our creditors. But they never tell you who the creditors are. I mean, specifically, $31 trillion, dog. Come on, dog. Okay. Now let's look at this logically. The United States has the most powerful military in the world, right? And what do? They don't call it colonialism or imperialism anymore. They call it, fighting for democracy, right? I.e., the wars that happened in Vietnam and Korea, went down in Japan, what went down in Hawaii, what went down in Iraq and Afghanistan and Libya. I mean, when the United States military go in, and like I said, my sister was in the military. She fought in Desert Storm. When they go in and take over, that's their country. Those people, those resources, everything in that country belongs to the United States. I mean, they still have military bases over there. You did? So you have to ask yourself logically, if we are so powerful militarily, right? And we have over 300 million Americans, and it's millions more than that, tens of millions more than that, right? Then that pay taxes. And mind, I'm talking every time you buy something, sales tax. If you live in states that have a state tax, all right, federal income tax, FICA, if you're a business owner, then you basically have to pay taxes on all your employees as well as yourself. That 6.2% for Social Security and that 1.6% for Medicare that you have to match, that they have to pay every check. Okay, so it's every quarter. So there's billions and trillions of dollars in taxes that the government, collects from us. And remember, that's not even including the money the United States get off, exports. The money that they get off trade. When they putting tariffs on countries, that means those countries have to pay taxes on anything that they buy from the United States. Okay. And so I'll say all that to say this, family. That's a lot of money generated every day for millions of people coming in and paying taxes to the many countries that the United States have colonized, right? They don't call it colonization anymore. But why do the United States have, military bases in over 100-something countries? Okay? And this goes back since I'll be 55 years old. It goes back when I was a kid. And, cats from the crib would just come back from Korea. You know, they bring stuff back from Korea, or they was in Japan, or they was in Germany. You dig? And we never thought about that, right? And people never think about that. And so, this whole notion of a debt ceiling, come on, man. I mean, if you generate all this cash, right, and all this revenue and profit, right, and major corporations aren't paying as much taxes, because why do they have to make corporations pay more in taxes? Well, we need the really, really rich, the wealthy, to pay their fair share of taxes, right? But why, when the government collects trillions of dollars from us in taxes all the time, every year, and then, like, say, what they get from military, what they get from all these other countries? I mean, come on, man. And it ain't like they build an infrastructure like bridges and roads and, water pipes and, all that's being revamped. No. Okay. All the trillions of dollars they got over the pandemic scam. Come on, man. So it's all to keep people fearful and not understand what's really going on. But if you're smart and if you're conscious, you have to know that what they're saying is just lies. I mean, what are y'all talking about? From the city, state, municipality, federal. I mean, come on, man. All that money. Mm-mm. So it's a joke. And if you know anything about how the U.S. Treasury works and how the federal government works in reference to finances, do you honestly think that the United States government only have $31 trillion? Like, oh, we owe $31 trillion in debt. That's how much we owe. But you notice they never tell you how much they have. And you just do your just common sense. Come on, man. All that money in taxes, you think all the money that the United States makes, all the investments that the United States invests in other countries' currencies, in other countries' stock markets. Come on now. I mean, it's just a ridiculous notion. I mean, it's really funny when I be watching this crap and how, like I say, they can go on TV like they're really serious. Like these politicians, like they're really serious. And if you've been in the garden for a long time, I've always talked about the real actors and the fake actors. These fake actors like Jamie Foxx and all these other cats you see on TV that's lying, that's pretending to be something they're not, those are the fake actors. The real actors are the politicians, the judges, all all these cats you see on the television, the media. Those are real actors because they project or present information to us as if it's real, and they know it's lies. That's an actor, okay? I mean, when 35% of all the money that we have, like only 35% goes toward, borrowing money or lending money. You dig? That other 65%, man, that's just cash, resources. See, that's the deal. It just blows me away. So, family, don't fall into this debt ceiling. United States, oh, we have to have a compromise. There's going to be this, going to be that. And you notice today they said they had a compromise. But see, what the compromise was, and the deal was, the White House and Congress agreed to raise the debt ceiling. And how are they going to stop the government from defaulting? Well, the Republicans agreed to make sure that anybody that's on welfare, that's receiving food stamps, and you able-bodied, you going back to work. Okay? You have to work. You got to get in one of these workforce programs. You got to go back to school. But you have to do something. And it's going to be at least 20 hours a week that you have to do this in order to continue to get your food stamps. Think about what I just said. If you're able-bodied, right, based on what this new agreement that Joe Biden, the Democrats, and the courts of congressmen, the Republicans, agreed on. Now, let me let you know the difference between lies in your face and then lies behind your back. Listen to what this cat says, okay? This is a cat that's on CNN.
Are you going to need Democratic votes to get it passed in the House?
There will be some Democrats who will vote for this.
But will you need them, I guess is my point.
Well, we would like 222 Republicans.
Right.
I think it is certainly plausible that we could get 218, although I think it's going to look a lot better for this country if we can put a big number up on the board. Democrats like Joe Biden and some in the House coming together with Republicans to pass this, that's going to be better for the country.
So,
what he just said, and remember I just told you, they're going to cut. Matter of fact, you're going to get cut off all social services like welfare, food stamps, especially food stamps, if you're able-bodied and not working. So they're going to expect everybody to work at least 20 hours a week or get in some type of workforce program or go back to school. Okay. Now, what he's not going to do is raise taxes on the corporations. He don't want to do that. Ain't that crazy? Let's continue.
Congresswoman Jayapal, the head of the House Progressive Caucus, Democrat.
She's going to no vote too.
Well, I don't know what she's going to vote, but one question I'm sure is on her mind, which is why was it so important for House Republicans to have this work requirement for able-bodied food stamp recipients who don't have dependents, but not important to get corporations to at least pay some taxes if they made a profit?
Well, we raised taxes, not me, but Joe Biden and Democrats raised taxes on corporations by $700 billion last year. There was not, frankly, an appetite among Republicans to allow Democrats to do that again. What there is an appetite for is making sure that we're helping people find that pathway out of poverty. I grew up in a family of modest means. I saw my parents busting their butts every single day.
Just lies, right? He's saying this law, this bill, or what they finna pass, this deal they just made, is going to be better to bring people out of poverty, okay? Even though you may not be working, ain't no jobs out there you can have, and you need to get on food stamps right now for the time being because you can't find a job, that's going to raise you out of poverty. Does that make sense? And then he lying, talking about he come from a, modest family. Dude, you lying. You went to private school, okay? You went to Harvard. You've been a politician for over 5 years. You already vested in. So after 5 years, they get their full pension. They get $178,000 a year. Don't have to pay for money. Don't have to pay for hospitalities, i.e. plane rides, hotel stays. Everything is comped for these people. But they want to cut food stamps for able-bodied people, but don't want to raise taxes on the corporations. To put it in perspective, family, the taxes that you pay if you make $70,000 a year, you pay more taxes than a corporation that brings in $30 billion a year. You did. As far as the percentage. Now they may say, well, how's that? You only made $70,000 a year. But dude, if that's over 35% of my salary, okay, and you make $30 billion, but you're only paying 21%. Come on, man. So it's not equitable if you don't understand finance. All right. So family, that's what I'm saying. Realize, recognize, realize. Pay yourself first. May the Most High side you bring your joy, family. And like I said, I'm becoming that biblical consciousness soon because without that knowledge, there's no knowledge. All right? And being well is 95,000.